just let me know. Hey there, Ryan Kingsline here. Okay, in today's video, you might have noticed I'm starting a little tiny series. It's a mini series on why it sucks. And what we want to look at today is this idea of, let's say this is the second reason why it sucks. And by it sucks, I mean our work. We're just in a slump and it's not going as well as we want. It's not going as fast as we want. Second reason is because we have let pain be the barrier to our progress and to our growth. And we haven't learned that pain is actually the pathway to helping us grow as artists. So in order to really understand this, we got to take a look at a concept I developed a while ago called the skill ladder. And in the skill ladder, the way this works, it's built on the 4 levels of mastery. But all of us throughout our life, we are working with this certain set of actions until we become aware of the fact that there is a problem. We had the same problems we're aware of back here, but now suddenly we look at our work and we say something's wrong. It's not quite, it was wrong back here, but now we're aware of it. All right, this is what they've called, this is what they call conscious non-mastery. When you become conscious of your non-mastery, that's when you begin the journey to conscious mastery. And so we start with awareness, that then leads to the struggle, which leads to the solution. And all of us have gone through this in our life. And one of the things that you have to remember, and this is the easy thing to forget, is that it's not just, hey, I'm a master. Yay, I leveled up to level 80. I am now done. Nobody who's ever mastered anything ever thinks they've mastered it, right? The word mastery is used in context. It's relative to everybody else. It's relative to the amount of people who are at a certain skill. The masters of sculpting today would probably be considered medium in Bernini's time, right? So everything is relative to the experience or the context. But most importantly, what's really important for you to keep in mind is that it never stops, right? You develop one solution, and that solution works for where you are. But it's only as good until you become aware of the next problem, because there's always a next level. I always remember I think it was even the first week I was at the Pennsylvania Academy of Fine Arts. Remember my teacher, Renee Fowkes. I went up to her, there was a faculty show, and I was like, Renee, I love your work. It's so beautiful, it's so wonderful. And Renee said, she's a Jersey girl, and she's just like full on straight, no bullshit, just everything was real. She's like, that's great, thank you. You know, not accepting compliments at all. And she's like, I get it, you know, you see me and you think, you know, I have a certain skill and I'm, you know, I've got something going on, and you're down here looking up at this and you're saying, I want to reach this. But you know what? I'm here and I'm looking up there and I'm seeing that there's so much more that I would like to achieve. Because it's a never-ending pipeline. It's always growing. It's a ladder. That's the way I like to think about it. And if you look at this whole image, really what we're talking about is you're going around with some level of understanding until you become aware of a problem. You solve the problem. Then you go and you continue until you become aware of another problem. And then you solve that. But each time you're solving it, it's a struggle. Each time you're addressing this, there's something that you're trying to solve. And so in order for us to really get a comprehensive answer of this reason number 2 of why it sucks, right? Why our work sucks, why the feeling of creating our work sucks, we have to understand a little bit about this next step. So you understand the skill level. You understand that this is the basic way in which we grow. But when we stop growing, we're doing something very specific, and that's this next diagram that I want to show you. So in terms of this next diagram, what we are doing is taking our action until we become aware of a problem, and then we are experiencing the pain of struggle, the pain of struggle, the pain of struggle, and then we have a decision point. And so in that decision point, this is what's really important. In that decision point, We have to decide whether or not we are going to accept this problem, whether or not we are going to deny it. And this is where we make the mistake. Many of us, myself included, we deny the problem. And we don't deny it point blank as in, I don't have a problem. What we do is a little bit shadier than that. We go, I'm not that kind of artist. That's not really my thing, we say. Even though we started down that journey and we wanted to achieve that, then we go and we say, that's not my thing. And so we move off into something else. But the reason why this whole experience of creating art sucks for us right now is because we haven't solved the problems, because we are continuing to deny the problem, because we are continuing to use pain as a barrier to growth. Because in order for us to really grow and to get past the point of sucking, to get out of the valley of the suck, yea, though I walk through the valley of the suck, I shall fear no, horrible work, right? You guys know the drill. So in order for us to get out of that valley and to get to the next level, pain has to become the path, not the problem. It has to become the way through to get there. So that's when we come back to this diagram, and at this moment where we're making this decision, where we're deciding, am I going to accept this, or maybe I'm going to deny it, right? And it's just psychology. It's just like we internally want to be good. It's hard to accept the reality, the facts on the ground, that my skill isn't up to par. But you have to be ruthlessly committed to the facts, to the truth of where you are as an artist, or you will never see the things that you need to improve. You will continue to deny them. You won't believe in them. You'll shift, you'll delay, right? And so you'll continue to make the same problems. You'll continue to hit the same point. You'll continue to go through this cul-de-sac of pain. You'll continue to cycle around and around and around, right? And the way it works, it's really crazy, because as you're coming up here, you have a moment of, you just experience a moment of, okay, I'm on the right track. I have decided that I'm not that kind of artist. So you have this moment in which your whole being lifts a little bit, because you've realized you're not that kind of artist. But then you travel down the road a little bit and you run into a different version of the problem. And you're back into the pain, into the pain, into the pain. And then you're not another kind of artist, and then you're not another kind of artist. Then you don't know that medium. And then slowly what you do is you box yourself in to this little tiny thing that is who you are, because it is the only thing that has just naturally happened. And that's the real pain. Because that's when your life, which you started out with all this promise and this hope and potential, has been crowded in. Because you've stopped believing in yourself. Because you've stopped challenging yourself. Because you have stopped at the pain. Where what you have to do in order to achieve, in order to grow as an artist, you need to confront that pain full on, and you need to understand that that is the truth. And it's the path. And so as you discover this moment, you don't deny it, you accept it, and you work on it, and you push through to achieve to the next level, so that you do actually grow. So that when you become aware of a problem, you struggle, you go through the pain, and you don't deny it and drop back down, but you come to the solution. Keeping in mind, I'm going to repeat all of this in a little while. And that's the journey that we're in, because see, if you use pain as a barrier, if pain is the thing that says to you, all right, I need to stop, I'm not good enough, or I'm never going to be able to make it. If that's the thing that flags that for you, then you might as well stop now, because there is no pain-free artist existence. It doesn't happen. You don't go into the dark wood to discover something that nobody else has done and experience or expect that to be pain-free. It's not possible. So if you're committed to the artist's journey, you need to be committed to the pain. You need to be committed to the frustration. And you need to see that frustration not as a signal that I am not an artist, I am not capable, to, oh shit, I got some work to do. And that's all it is. It's just work that you got to do, right? You can do that. You've been working on this stuff all along. At the end of the day, it becomes real simple. It becomes a little bit of a mental game that you play. It's a mental game that's being played whether you want to play it or not. Your brain is involved and it's pulling in multiple different directions. Your job as an artist is to find out how to harness these different parts of yourself and the different psychological elements to really push yourself forward, to pull the whole machine of who you are forward to achieve your vision, right? Your goals. So, let me know below this video, what's the pain point that you have been avoiding? What's the thing that you have maybe been saying, I'm not that kind of artist? I'm sure we all have it. And it's usually not one thing. But what is the one thing that you're saying you are not capable of? That if you were to just spend a little bit more time on it, it might open you up. It might make a few of those things that you've dreamed of possible. Just take a second and write down below a little bit of a memoir of the dreams that you may have given up on, right? And if you want to know more about this and about what I'm doing in Artist X, which is what this is part of, make sure you head over to ryankingsline.com, and down below there'll be a little Artist X. This is a challenge that I'm doing right now. It's open right now. It starts in January. And this is all about you, the artist, not getting more instruction, right? And being more passive and downloading or collecting tutorials or, commodifying knowledge. This is about you finding out what work you need to do to break through your blocks, right? Because I know it's inside you, because it was inside me. When I broke through my blocks, I didn't have to go and take a class. I had to go and do the work. Two different things, right? And I've been working with artists for over a decade, and I know that the biggest thing that artists are missing today is a framework for the work that's really going to make the difference, for the work that matters, right? So make sure you head over to ryankingsline.com, check out Artist X, and if you got questions, leave them in the comment down below this video, and I'll see you there. Yeah? And finish.